And welcome to SA Sports Show. I'm Greg Anderson, my co-host Barry Curtin. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, should I say last weekend, our sides got up beautifully.
Well played.
Well played, very, very nicely.
Well, except Cove.
Yeah, except Cove. And we'll talk to the president of the Southern Footy League a bit later as well.
Yeah,
but
no, good result.
One who got up as well, which was beautiful, our Thunderbird girls.
And the Thunderbirds.
Isn't that fantastic? They hadn't won a game for, I think it was, I've got
798
days.
That's
so,
amazing,
and we've got Chelsea Pittman, the co-captain, to come and chat about that as well. So
that's really disappointing because the Thunderbirds are a bit like Lightning. They're an iconic South Australian sporting team.
I remember taking my my three daughters probably 4 or 5 years ago to the grand final, Entertainment Centre. I think we beat New Zealand by two or three goals. Actually, I think Chelsea Pittman was playing in that game, but for New Zealand. But anyway, it was fantastic. Absolutely packed to the rafters. We've got up. It was just an incredible. My girls were in tears. It was fantastic. And to say that for 798 days we hadn't won a game.
It's amazing, mate. It's amazing.
Our Premier team.
Yeah.
Very, very amazing.
Exactly right. You just said it then, our Premier team.
Yeah.
And that's what they are, and with a big following. 700 new coach, 10-year obs now.
10-year obs. So
great to see her back.
Great family of netballers, of course. Which is brilliant.
Look forward to Chelsea.
Another great weekend last weekend from our young players. You know, when you look at Port Adelaide, you look at Rosie and Butters, Dersma, of course.
Will and Drew, playing well.
So it's a nice balance. Other side of the ledger, what about Boak? Another 40 possessions.
Oh well,
he's Brownlow favourite.
Well, I think he'd be leading the Brownlow at the moment.
I think
I actually said it Wednesday morning at Power Training. I was talking to a few people there, and they were saying he'd be leading the Brownlow by a mile. He's already got 3 or 4 BOGs.
It's a balance, isn't it? You've got to have these youngsters coming in. I remember Kevin Sheedy was saying you really need the youngsters to have the flair and have the senior players giving the stability. Now you look at those three players we just spoke about, and you also talk about now Elliot Himmelberg, Murphy
from
and Keith from Adelaide.
Exactly.
And the other side of the ledger, you got the Crouchers and the Sloans starting to take that balancing act and giving the confidence for these guys to really show what they've got.
Well, Greg, you've played at that level. Now, when a young bloke comes into your side and he does flashy things, all of a sudden he does these things that you go, whoa.
You need the flair.
It does reinvigorate you, doesn't it? It's not just words in the paper.
It's not. I remember when Gavin Wangan come to
Bingo,
Essendon,
classic case.
and that's probably what Kevin Sheedy was saying, that his flair, didn't have a lot of consistency early days. He's only young, you don't expect that. But for a senior player's point of view, you want that consistency, but you like to say, how good's that? How good was that? Or how good a goal was that? Or how good a mark was that? Whatever the case may be. And they're giving us that little bit of spark, and you do need it. And I think these younger players are given that little bit of extra life for players like Boakey and Robbie Gray and the players that have been around. Brad Ebert, of course, as well. To see Rosie. What about how clean he is off the ground?
Mate, I think he's a freak. Well, there was one passage of play there where he ran into a pack, knew that if he picked the ball up, he was going to get caught, so he did a little soccer off the ground to himself, then picked it up, and then hit Boak. And that's class.
His evasive skills are incredible. I mean, there have been talks about Dersma very similar to Craig Bradley. I actually find Rosie more similar to Craig Bradley because of his evasive skills and his light-footedness, especially when he was young.
He's quick.
He's quick.
He's quick. But Adelaide have done the same thing.
Look, we're talking about that Keith and that Elliot Himmelberg. I mean, wow, what a great player. He's got the blonde hair.
Well, he's the type of guy now, Keith I'm talking about here, that teams are going to kick the ball away from. They won't kick the ball anywhere near him because he'll mark it. He's one of the better intercept marks in the competition, not just Adelaide. He's one of the better ones in the competition.
And it's a nice balance for Talia.
Exactly. He's a massive help to Talia.
I agree, that's what I mean. So you've got the one end's at the older end of the spectrum and the other one's very, very young. So it's... it's footy's really, it's fantastic at the moment, and it's nice when both teams are winning. I know that for sure,
Well, you talk about Himmelberg. Does the other bloke get back in? Well, that's the big question here.
He went back, kicked 3 goals, had lots of possessions. So he really put his hand up. I thought, I thought he went.
Be hard to drop this bloke.
But it's all about timing. And let me tell you, he put his hand up as well, which is fantastic. Look, we've got plenty to talk about. We have got a great show ahead of us, but we've got to go to the news now. Over to you, Bridget.
Thanks, boys. I'm Bridget, and here's this week's sporting update. What can I say? It's been a great week with a lot of good results. Let's start off with some news from the other side of the world. Langhorne Creek's Michael Roger is the World Para T46 champion at the London Marathon. He set a new world record of 2 hours, 22 minutes and 51 seconds. The Duke of Sussex awarded Michael his gold medal, topping off a phenomenal year for the athlete. He also boasts a world record for the 1500 metres and the 5000 metres in his class. Well done to Michael, who has brought another monumental achievement to SA athletics. And the Adelaide Thunderbirds have broken a 27-game losing streak, downing the West Coast Fever in an absolute thriller. New recruit Shamera Sterling was a rock in defence, racking up a game-high 5 intercepts and 11 deflections. Sasha Glasgow scored 37 goals to claim the Anzac medal, leading her side to a 1-goal victory. The Thunderbirds will take on the reigning premiers, Sunshine Coast Lightning, in the Northern Territory tomorrow. Adelaide United have secured a blockbuster home elimination final against Melbourne City following a strong few weeks. The Reds locked in their spot with an important win against Brisbane, which saw 5 individual goal scorers step up for United. Coach Marco Kurz will go into Sunday's knockout game with a fully split squad, which he'll need to get past former Adelaide keeper and Melbourne's current first choice, Eugene Galekovic. The Reds will be hoping to continue their run at the Cooper Stadium game on Sunday. To AFL now, and Port Adelaide have strung together a couple in a row, polishing off a determined North Melbourne side over the weekend. The Power managed to keep key forward Ben Brown goalless, taking advantage of their midfield dominance to control the game. Travis Boak was once again influential in the victory, gathering 38 disposals and taking home the Peter Badco medal. The Power have a tough task ahead of them when they take on the Red Hot Pies tonight at the Marvel Stadium. Meanwhile, the Crows are starting to show themselves as the sleeping giants of the competition, running out an in-form St Kilda goal by 29 points. Usual suspects Brodie Smith and Matt Crouch racked up the disposals, eventually breaking the game open and securing victory. The Crows will be hoping to crack into the 8 when they face Fremantle this Sunday. Round 5 of the Hockey Premier League has come to a close. Adelaide Hockey Club proved to be the team to beat in both the men's and women's competitions. In the men's, Adelaide scored 6 to Burnside's 0, skyrocketing themselves to the top of the ladder. Adelaide's women's side drew 0-0 with Burnside in a hard-fought match. However, it was enough to keep them at the top alongside their male counterparts. Round 6 of the Premier League will kick off tomorrow afternoon. That's all for now. I'll see you next week. Back to you, boys.